Hi, I'm Tracy Soffra and welcome to the Women of Wealth podcast. Personal growth. What does personal growth actually mean? Well, and really, why is it important? Personal growth is a continuous journey, really, that requires self-reflection and asking yourself profound questions and checking in with yourself, basically. But how do you know which questions to ask yourself on this path to personal growth? I want to talk a little bit about my personal growth. I'm a self-confessed personal growth junkie. All the books that I read are personal growth books. I'm not much into fiction. I love biographies and I love personal growth books. And some of the greatest books I've ever read is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson is by far one of the most incredible books I've ever read. And Never Split the Difference is another amazing book. But that aside, I love expanding the mind, expanding the mindset, and exploring other ways of thinking. I just love the opportunity to be able to think differently, think outside the box, and read other people's perspective on the world and what they believe to be true, and the norms, the social norms, and all the things that they challenge in the world. And for me, that's a massive part of my personal growth. So talking about this on the Women of Wealth podcast is something that really excites me. So I want to dig deep into this a little bit more. Here are some questions I think are important to ask yourself if you want to head down this pathway to determine the most essential things in your life, because it is a journey. Personal growth is a journey. It is a lifelong journey. And like everything in life, we learn every day, and the learning never stops, not until we close our eyes for the last time. And I believe that as people, personal growth is a very important component of what we should be doing with our everyday lives and with ourselves. So here's one of the questions that are pivotal to this personal growth journey. And the first one is, how do you see yourself? Because, somebody said to me once, we don't see ourselves as other people do. And that sort of stopped me in my tracks. I thought, no, I don't see myself, do I? It's everybody else sees me, but all I ever see is my image in the mirror, but that's not seeing myself. The only other way we see ourselves is if we're recorded on video or, something like that. But so outside of how people see you, how do you see yourself? This question can really help you determine your personality type. Are you a person that's thoughtful or impatient or gentle or angry? What sort of person are you? How do you see yourself? And is that really true? Knowing how you want others to see you and how you see yourself can actually help you ensure that the two images are closely aligned as possible. And really, I guess deeper than that, how you see yourself, is that the true you out in the real world? One of the most important yet challenging questions to ask yourself is whether, over and above that, is, do you like who you are? There's a bit of silence there for me. I'm going to ask you again, do you like who you are? Have you come to a place where you're accepting of who you are? Do you feel at ease? Do you feel at home with who you are? Or is there something missing? Are there aspects of your personality you want to improve? Or maybe you're pleased with yourself? How far have you come? And we can only answer that in terms of personal growth by looking back over the years and casting your mind back to 12 months, 2 years, maybe 5 years of the person that you were then compared to the person that you are now. One way you can work that out is by doing similar things that you did 4 or 5 years ago. And if you do them again now, do you get the same satisfaction? Are you still satisfied with the outcomes? How does it feel for you now? Have you moved on? Have you grown? Have you developed? Have you evolved? That's one very important way of assessing your personal growth and how far you've come. Whatever the answer might be, It can help you on your personal growth journey without a doubt. So asking yourself those questions as to how do you see yourself and do you like what you see? The second question that I'm going to pose to you is, what do you value? Because values they're the foundations on which we operate. They're the foundations on which we act and take action in life. Our values determine who we are, what we do, how we interact with others. It basically is, if someone was to say to me, what are values, Trace? It's who you are, what you stand for, and what are your not negotiables. Who are you at your very core? And so if on the top of your list of values is integrity, loyalty, trust, you would never step outside of those boundaries when, no matter what you're doing in life, you would always make sure that you are trusted, you are loyal, you have integrity in the way that you conduct yourself. Is it freedom? Is it love? Is it family? They are the things that will determine your actions and determine the way that you live out your life. And when you're feeling incongruent with that, when there's that mixed feeling in the pit of your gut where something feels off, I promise you that means that you are living outside of your values. So if you value family, if you value children, and if you value that sacredness of having a beautiful family, but you have a job that keeps you away from that beautiful family 24/7, there is going to be some disturbance in the pit of your gut, in the belly of your gut, where you know something's not right. And that's because you're not living according to your values, because you value family, you value children, you value that beautiful family that you've created and developed, but you don't get time to spend with them and they don't get time to spend with you. Something's got to change. Trust that intuition, trust that pit of your gut feeling, and act upon that and live according to your values. So figuring this out is the best way to ensure that you are living according to your values. Do a values questionnaire. There's 1,000,001 of them online, but we have a specific values questionnaire in our Empower program, which is the financial confidence program through WOW, which is one of our many programs on offer. And it digs very, very deep into the heart of who you are, what your not negotiables are, and what you stand for. And it's from that place that you take the next step, understanding the top 5 values that define who you are, that drive behavior, that behavior then ends up with the results that you get. Whatever you do is the result you're going to get in life, and it's all driven by values. And it's from that place that you can then set goals and project your life in the direction that you want. So doing a values questionnaire is incredibly important to the whole process of understanding who you are. And it gives clarity. It gives that sense of, oh, thank God, I understand me now better. I understand. This makes so much sense. It's almost like coming home, it's almost like, oh, yes, that feels so right. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about values. Another question I'm going to pose to you in your personal growth journey. Are you afraid of anything? What keeps you up at night? Are you scared of failure? Knowing what you're scared of can help you identify the ways to overcome those fears. And sometimes those fears lay beneath the surface. They're beneath it. They're sort of in the subconscious mind. Sometimes those fears can come from past trauma. Your job is to identify that fear in order to overcome that fear. And if that fear is holding you back from progressing on this personal growth journey, if that fear is holding you back from pushing through, from attempting things that you love the notion of, you would love to do, but for some reason you just cannot get past this negative fear and you're stuck. And the only way to get unstuck is by unraveling that. Is there something you're constantly concerned about? What is that? Be honest with yourself. Bring it to the surface. Maybe it's money, or is it health? By reflecting on the source of your anxiety and fear, you can work on overcoming those feelings and push through that brick wall. And on the other side, let me assure you, there is peace, tranquility. And as I say before, it's like coming home. You've got to learn to identify and let go of your fears. And fear is something that is very, very, it's a very strong emotion. It's one of the strongest emotions that we have, and it keeps us alive, and it kept us alive in the caveman days. But right now, we're not being chased by dinosaurs or mammoths, yeah? So we need to address these fears, and we need to kiss them goodbye, and we need to push forward with that. Here's another one. What inspires you? What do you find inspiring? What makes the hair on your back stand up? What is the thing that inspires you, that you can't sleep at night because you're so inspired and you're constantly thinking about it. What is the thing? Yeah. Do you know what that is? Maybe it's a cause, maybe it's a purpose, maybe it's a way of life, maybe it's a belief. Whatever it is, knowing what inspires you can help you on the days that you're not feeling motivated. You see, on this journey of WOW, building this amazing community of women that are part of the WOW family, building the amazing WOW family and the WOW team has always been the goal for me. And there's been a lot of tough times, but the inspiration kept me going because I knew this is something I had to do. I'm so inspired by the people I work with on a daily basis. My team at WOW are amazing. I'm so inspired by the stories and the questions and the interactions I have every single week with my WOW beautiful members who are part of the programs that we teach. They inspire me every single day. They are fearless, they are courageous, they are amazing, and they're doing it scared. So let me ask you, what inspires you, and follow that inspiration. One thing we don't do is we don't pat ourselves on the back. What is your greatest accomplishment? Sometimes we don't value ourselves or what we do. We don't think it's enough. I want you to write down your greatest accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. And we tend to do that as women. We tend to go, oh, it's just this. And we use the word just to make it a little bit less potentially like we're not trying to boast. I want you to write down your greatest accomplishments, no matter how small they might seem. Maybe you were the first to graduate from college from your family, or you paid off that credit card. However big or small it may seem, having a list of accomplishments in front of you, putting it on paper and having the ability to look at that will do so much to boost your self-esteem and show you how much you have actually grown. You've got to look back and you've got to see how far you've come so you can keep moving forward. It's one of the biggest things that we miss in the journey. We always seem to think, we always know how much more we've got to do. I still want to do this, I still want to do that. But hang on, what have you accomplished so far? How about a bit of a pat on the back for that? And that then builds more confidence, more self-esteem, and it's like rocket fuel, right, to go forward with that. What about this? What about areas in your life that need improvement? Have you pinpointed some of those areas that you would like to improve? So for this question, I want you to reflect on different areas of your life, such as your career, your friends, your family, your health, or your financial position. Do you feel that one area is lacking? Is it your health? Do you need to get back to some exercise? Do you need to look at your nutrition? Is it your family? Are you not spending enough time with the kids or your partner? Are you just taking everything for granted? What about friends? Are you spending enough quality time with friends? We know that people who have a great social circle and friendships and families, they live longer. We know this. Your career. Are you bored? Do you need change? Do you need to improve yourself to get that promotion in the career? What are some of the things that you need to address? Some of the things that you need to improve in each one of those areas of your life, and start with one. You don't have to start with all of them. So identifying these areas of your life that you want to work on and trying to manage personal development and trying to manage a plan around this is another way of making sure that the personal growth journey is on a continuum and is continuing to serve you and develop you as you progress down this pathway. If this is something, if these areas, if any of these things that I've just spoken about are things that you're struggling with, if you want help with personal growth and if you want the coaching and mentoring to get you down that pathway, in particular, if you're struggling with your financial life and you need help with that, then make sure to book a call with one of our financial strategists. You simply have to go to our wowwomen.com.au website, click the link to our programs, and best of all, it's free. And you would be surprised how many other areas of your life are impacted and changed simply by increasing your financial confidence and increasing your financial position in your life. It filters across every other aspect of your life. It has this ripple effect that changes your personal life, your career, obviously your finances, and everything else around you. So, with that said, make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favourite podcast platform. Be sure to check out our other episodes. There's some amazing ones there for you. And thank you for joining me.